Greetings, Keishlands. Keishram here with a One Punch Man discussion video. Today we're going to talk about how to tame a phoenix and other aspects of the final revision of the Phoenix Man Child Emperor fight. Just kind of going to detail a few thoughts that I've had that, like, Phoenix Man's fate has changed. He died in previous versions, but now he lives. And with the way that tropes work in manga and other fiction, you survive, chances are you'll probably come back. I mean, he's a very good character to just never to return if he's actually still alive. So, yeah. Anyway, so the first part is taming a phoenix. This is where Child Emperor sends, like, either one or a whole troop of his underdog men deep into the depths of the Monster Association to, using their heightened sense of, like, smell and stuff, just like how it located Child Emperor in the previous chapter. Or not previous chapter, but the revision. They locate and capture the weakened Phoenix Man, in his little, chick man form. Because he's still alive. He was kicked away by Galewind in that chapter, but, like, he's presumably still alive. I don't think the kick would have killed him. So, yeah. So, upon being captured and everything, he's brought back to the lab, and then he's injected with a special kind of, it looks like a serum, but turns out it's the tickle bug nanites. Yes, I made that even more devious, and some people will probably hate it, but it's an idea nonetheless. Basically, they're the tickle bugs, but they're microscopic in that when they're injected into the body, they tickle you from the inside. So there is no, like, oh god, get these off of me. It's like, you can't get them off of you because they're in you. Yes. Anyway, this would allow Child Emperor to control, or maybe even train Phoenix Man to a degree. Or, should the case that Phoenix Man ever, resurrect and transform again, into one of his more powerful forms, he can then use them to revert him back to Chick Man for further training. Or to just show off that it's like, okay, you know what's going to happen to you, don't you, Phoenix Man? And it's like, you aren't getting away. I'm keeping you here if you're going to be that way. So, he might eventually learn. Who knows? But anyway, so with this new level of control over such a powerful foe, this could bring about some really good scientific gains for Child Emperor. And that leads into the next part, derived research. The main idea of this is that he studies Phoenix Man's numerous abilities and his biology and everything. And from that, Child Emperor develops, new weapons and equipment, such as a perfected Brave Giant power source. By harnessing the fire and heat generation abilities of Phoenix Man, he now has an unlimited, heat source that he could use as power for Brave Giant, totally, eliminating the time limit weakness that it has. Or, say, the Lego snowman that he uses against evil natural water, if he can, derive any knowledge and, technology from the penguin mode, and its ice powers, and then incorporate that into the Lego snowman, it could increase its power, or just make it more efficient or something. Or possibly taking Phoenix Man's resurrection abilities, be it when he resurrects himself or resurrects others with his light generation and such. This could be applied for healing abilities, instead of full on bringing back, say the S-Class have all died and it's like, oh, I gotta bring them back. It's like, we won't go necessarily that far because I don't think they would do that in the series. So involving it in a healing tech or something probably wouldn't be that outlandish, Next up is new forms. okay, this is something I speculated when I was live reacting to those chapters, is that I thought Phoenix Man, like, oh, he didn't get Brilliant Eagle as we thought, as his final form. He got, the Penguin. And then he eventually became Chick Man as well. So it's like, what other forms could he acquire? And I started just rambling off ideas. The first idea was of a cassowary. And for that, the new form would be Stealth Cassowary mode. This is inspired by the third largest but second heaviest bird in the world. This massive, just brutal behemoth can run 30 miles per hour, and it's very aggressive. Like, it can, when it's provoked, it'll like slash at you with its claws, it hit you with its beak, or just straight up kick you, which has led to some fatal incidents. And it has like a dagger-like second toe and everything, so it's a deadly bird. But what's interesting about it is that because it's so fast, a lot of times when reports of incidents with them have been reported, it's long gone. So it's like it attacks and runs away in the blink of an eye, it seems like. So I was thinking, okay, so Phoenix Man acquiring this particular species of bird, he would be like an assassin. He'd have like stealthy maneuvering. He had like maybe dagger-like claws coming off of his arms, so then he flies in real quick or runs in real quick. He can slash people, he can use powerful kicks, things like that. So, yeah. Next is the Tricky Cuckoo mode. This form has the unique ability of creating egg-like bombs that, he can place around, or he just hands them to a target or puts them on their person, real quick. And then he can remotely detonate them at will. This is inspired by the cuckoo bird's habit of like laying their eggs in other birds' nests, usually a smaller species, so that they then raise their young for them. And then over time, the baby cuckoo is a bigger species, so it, essentially just uproots the nest and will bump out the other bird's chicks, and then getting all the food for itself, reaching full maturity. So I thought that was kind of an interesting way to connect them, Next is Wisdom Owl mode. This is inspired by the concept that like owls are always viewed as like a wise or knowledgeable creature by a lot of societies and cultures across the world. So I thought, beyond like just normal physical improvements with this form and stuff, he gains an intelligence boost as well. Where, Phoenix Man is already pretty intelligent. He was able to go toe-to-toe with Child Emperor for the most part for the majority of their fight, or the full length of their fight. So he's not a dummy. I mean, he's an executive for a reason, So, or not a full-on executive, but he was like middle management kind of. So he's not stupid. So like if you just boost that intelligence even further, yeah, he could use this to strategically, plan out a battle, or use it to like, other kinds of scenarios that need, an intelligent person around that can do the math for you. So, yeah. Next is Zoom Hummingbird mode. This form gives him like greater flight mobility and a draining peck attack. This is inspired by the hummingbird's unique flying style, where it, it can hover in the air, or it can maneuver in omnidirectional pathways. Unlike typical birds where they can only go in one direction, it can immediately change direction as it feels like it needs to. And the way that it, drinks nectar and stuff, unlike other birds that eat seeds and bugs and all that. So, I thought that would be a cool way to have, like, he pecks someone and then he just drains them of, like, their nutrients from their body, or say he drains them of their blood or water or something, from their body, and then they just collapse on the ground. So I thought that would be kind of a cool way to use that. Next is Sonic Parrot. He gains a array of like sonic abilities, such as like a sonic squawk attack, because parrots can be quite loud and annoying. So imagine that as like a supersonic attack that he just unleashes on you with every scream. Or because parrots are, well versed in mimicking sounds and words, they can learn, I think it's like well over 100 words per individual. So like he mimics sounds, and then like he can trick people, but like he can copy someone's voice because this would be more exaggerated. So he could like straight up copy an enemy's like voice and everything, and then use it against them for like voice recognition technology, and then get into bases and all that kind of stuff. Or just kind of trick them like he's hiding and he has the voice of an ally for one of them, and then he draws them into an ambush or something like that. And next is Primal Pterodon. This form takes its inspiration from the largest flying animal in all of known history. And bear with me on the name, the Quetzalcoatlus northropi. This 20-foot tall, when it's on all fours, mind you, which is about the height of a giraffe, and its 40-foot wingspan. This monster was just straight up the king of the prehistoric skies. So I'm thinking this could be like the final form, like even maybe before or even beyond like Brilliant Eagle was. So I'm thinking like this could just where he has like full on primitive power in its most, like pure form, because it's like the ancestry of birds and the like. It's not exactly a one for birds, but you know what I mean. It's how manga does. Dinosaurs all became birds. It's just the logic. But so this form would grant him massive like boosts in like physical stats all across the board. And then with the larger beak that this species had, this makes his like old pecking beak attack that he used against Child Emperor look like child's play. So yeah, also imagine a drill beak or something, that. Oh yeah. Also, he'd have like greater defensive capabilities because he's not covered in feathers anymore. It's more of a leathery hide, so there's that as well. Okay, now we move on to future role. Given everything that I've said up to this point, you kind of get an idea of where some of this might be going. Let's take it a little step further, shall we? This is revolving around what Phoenix Man's role will be moving forward into the series, obviously. So, like, if he's actually full-on trained by Child Emperor, to the point where maybe he can even trust him to an extent, he could be utilized as a combat asset to Child Emperor. Like a willing or maybe even an unwilling sidekick of sorts. Or just he uses him as a guinea pig for his various experiments and weapon testing. Because, Phoenix Man's gonna revive, so if you kill him, well, we found out that it's strong enough to take down a dragon level threat, it's like, and he keeps coming back and he keeps getting stronger, so then that like if your weapon tech is, plateauing, because then you can't kill him, but then if you modify in such a way and it is able to kill him, that it's better tech. Or maybe should he like completely reform his dark ways and his hatred of humanity, he might actually become a future hero protecting said humanity. He might actually become like the first full-on like monster that signs up with the Hero Association. I mean, we have aspects of that already, Zombie Man, but like people don't know that he's the way he is for that reason, like that he was experimented on and that he's essentially a monster, and then there's the whole thing with, you know, a My Mask, but we don't know when that came into play either. So, like, certain things like that, but, like, he's full-on monster. The others can be debated on if they're truly monsters or not. But that's for the viewers, to decide. But, so this is like, you know, he becomes, like, true Phoenix Man. He'll probably get bumped up to S-Class, and very well might be in the top, you know, 3, 4 of the S-Class if this were to come to pass. So, yeah. But, yeah. Just, it would be kind of cool to see Phoenix Man become a hero, you know? Because then he would actually get probably some of the recognition and everything that he wanted when he was on that TV show as Birdbrain. You know, the children will cheer for him not because he's getting hurt or because, you know, he's that goofy character that's always, you know, being killed off. It's because he's protecting them and serving the community and everything. They would cheer for him. Everyone would cheer for him. Because, like, I'm sure adults that might have watched the show with their kids or whether it's like, oh, that Birdbrain ain't too bad, you know? It's like, I don't mind my kids watching that show now, or something like that. You know, things like that. So, a lot of, you know, people's opinions of him would drastically change. He would feel more recognized for his better attributes and not just being a joke character. So, there you go. But, yeah, that's about all I have to really say about this. I may do more videos of this type in the future, should the ideas strike me. So, yeah. But anyway, let me know what you thought of this. Any aspects of Phoenix Man for the future of his role in the series. Let me know what you think. And, yeah. But anyway, check out my other content, see what you like, suggest things for the future. Links down below for all my social media so that you can stay in the loop and also contact me. I stream on Twitch where I do gaming and stuff, and I'll tweet it out when I go live. Part of the One Punch Man podcast on Grim Reaper's channel, so go check that out. And as always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, Quiche-lings, Phoenix Man's coming back!